I still like 9, but Showtime's pretty cool too. I've been on Showtime 2 different times. I did ring announcing for cards at Target Center, and they needed a local. I guess they didn't want to bring in Jimmy Lennon Jr. or Michael Buffer, because those guys cost big bucks. I come cheap. And welcome to Showtime. This Showbox, the new generation. They had me do it like 10 times the open. I don't think they liked it. They brought me back a second time, but I don't think they particularly thought I was very good at it, and I guess I'm really not. Okay, take 8. Try it again from the top. Welcome to Showbox, the new generation. Okay, let's try it again. Take 9. Take it from the top. And I did it I bet I did it 6, 7 times.
6, 7. And
finally got it to at least where they thought. I'm sure the guy was saying, I don't think it's. My guess is I couldn't hear any of this. They were probably talking in the booth amongst themselves, but the guy probably said, I don't think it's going to get any better than what we've got from him right now.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not there. But be consistent. And then we'll be consistent and go hand in hand. Wow, there's so much to get to. It's a big game for the Vikings, obviously. Against the Bears, we've beaten them once. We're 4-5. We can't afford another loss. You drop to 4-6, and then you figure 10. You figure 10-7 is probably going to. You have to. I mean, I don't think you can be any worse than. I suppose you could squeeze in as the final wild card at 9-8. But more, and again, we just don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. But I got to think you got to be almost 10-7. And if you got 5 losses already, Tim, that doesn't leave a lot of margin for error. So we'll certainly talk a lot of Vikings. Then the other big time football program in town, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, have another Friday night game. Are they again, instead of the Golden Gophers, are they the sacrificial lambs? They're taking on, I'm not sure where Oregon is ranked. They're top 10. They won the Big Ten last year. They're one of the best teams in college football. That game is tonight. The Wild are back in action. The Wolves are back in action. The Frost, are they back in action?
Not yet. Their season hasn't started.
And then what about...
Oregon is ranked 8th, at least in the ESPN poll.
ESPN poll. So there's plenty to get to today. I'm not sure where to begin. Let's spin wheel the topic. Maybe for the last time. Because now there's not as much going on, so I can kind of sift through it and find it out on my own,
Commons golf games.
That's surprising.
What did you shoot today?
79.
Where'd we play?
I'm sorry. It's Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on 1?
Right up the gut.
How far from the green were you?
I had a pitching wedge in my hand.
Second shot?
I hit a beautiful pitching wedge that hit just in front of the green. You need to hit in front of the greens early in the morning this time of year because let's just say the greens are a little lively right now because of the cold temps. Well, it popped on the green. I had 35 feet and hit a beautiful 35-foot light putt. I, again, was putting so beautifully today, though I did miss 2 critical putts. I missed an 8-footer for birdie on 11, and then I missed a bogey putt on 17 from about 5 feet. Otherwise, I hit some 12-footers, some 6-footers, 8-footers, making all sorts of wonderful putts all day. I just can't seem to finish out the round with an exclamation mark. I mean, I'm 1 over through 7, and then I get sloppy, just like I did the other day at Loggers. I went bogey, so I shoot 39. Then I par 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, bogey 15, and I was lucky to make bogey. I didn't hit one good shot except for the 10-foot bogey putt. 16, I made a remarkable par. I hit a great drive, just a terrible hybrid. I either hit a great hybrid or a bad hybrid. I've got 153 into the green, and I fly it. Blind shot from down below. Goes into that collection area on the right. And it's a front right pin, and I decide to putt from down in that collection area. I'm like 45 feet. Most of it going uphill. And I said, I'm just going to, because I don't, it's a tricky little pitch. It's just a delicate pitch, and I figured the putt was better. And what I do when I have difficult shots, I just go up and hit them. And I did, and I lagged it up to 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and made it. So, and then I doubled 17. I had 190 to the flag, par 3, and I pulled the hybrid into that left green side bunker. And it's a middle pin, but there really is no middle part of the green on 17 at Loggers. He's got the front tongue and the back tongue, and it's kind of, so it's a couple of steps from the middle onto that back, and I hit just an awful sand shot. I shank it out of the bunker. It skips across the green, lands in the rough. Then I kind of thinned up a sand wedge, but I thought it was going in. It rolled right over the edge of the cup. And then I missed a 5-footer, and then I bogeyed 18. So, yeah, you play the first 16 and 4 over the last 2 and 3, and that's how you get to 79. But I'm feeling, I think things are good. I'll wrap up the year tomorrow at Prestwick, at Wedgwood, and Woodbury, and then we'll move on with the rest of our lives. Would you like me to go over it again, Teneby? Did I cover it enough? Ghost Town here at 1600 Utica Avenue. There's nobody here. The only people that were here were you and me, Amy James, Greg Swedberg was here, and Rich Davis. That's it. Oh, an engineering guy. That's it. No one else here. So it's a ghost town, but Lil B, I think, is going to be here. Is she not? She wasn't in her office. Is she expected to be here?
As far as I know, I don't remember her.
So Lil B, Feminine Touch, will join us at 1 o'clock, and then we have a special program password for you. The very mild-mannered, low-key, almost like he's under the influence of some type of narcotic, a downer of some sort, Tommy Olson, and then high-energy Halvey. So that will be our program password, and we'll do a little of this, that, and the lat. Other side of the break, it's peek at the purple. Let's take a deep dive into the purple. It is a game that is urgent for the Vikings. I got a stat for you that will be sobering, to say the least. We'll do that next. Common Man program here on the Fan. Tenneby's got a keyword for us, though, to try to put $1,000 in your hand.
Yes, I do. The Fan and 2 men on a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword WIN at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That keyword is WIN. Enter now at KFAN.com. KFAN and the Vikings are teaming up for Toys for Tots. Join us live at Shields in Eden Prairie on Tuesday, December 2nd from 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. for our annual broadcast presented by Unreal. Bring a toy, spread some joy, and if you're one of the first 50 donors each show, you'll score a sweet KFAN Unreal Winter Beanie. Details at KFAN.com/toys.
You know what I'm about to ask, don't you?
Where's the name of the place again?
Yeah, what is the name of the place again?
That would be Shields in Eden Prairie for Toys for Tots.
And what day is that again? When will that be?
That is going to be December 2nd. That's a Tuesday.
I'll be there, so will you. It'll be a grand time to be had by one and all. Hopefully we'll continue. I think pretty much every year we break records for how many toys we receive. And that's all because of the listeners. It has nothing to do with you or me or anybody else with the Fan. The listeners just say, let's go ahead and let's give and give and give till we are about to give out. Time for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Speaking of the holidays, they are coming, as you know, or they're right around the corner. Don't get overloaded outlets or old wiring ruin the fun of the holidays for you. From GFC eyes to lighting installs, Affordable Electric keeps your home bright and safe all season long. Call before the first snow. They'll make your holiday shine. Affordable Electric, Minnesota's trusted electricians. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is what? You guessed it. Ho, 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 ow. Ho, ho. It's shockingly affordable. There was here's a sobering statistic, Teneby, and I didn't come up with this. This was sent. This is one of Paul's intercepted text messages. This one came in at 9:41:24 this morning. It says, there's never been a first-year QB win the Super Bowl. There's never been a first-year QB that has made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Anyone thinking McCarthy will be the first to do so is completely delusional. Boy, the negativity out there towards J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings is just astonishing to me. I mean, you know what I think it is? I think it's bandwagon. I really do. Guys are laying it on the line. Yeah, but you know my response to that would be there's an old saying I just made up. There's a first time for everything. So maybe this is the year. They better get started though. I know you played urgent.
Yeah.
You could have also played right now by Van Halen because they got to get this thing turned around right now.
When Vikings and the Bears play, it's a street fight. If you're going to get ready for a street fight, you better start getting ready now.
This was it was pinned. That means it's actually starred on the text message thing. But this was from yesterday afternoon, 3:38:31, during Big Ticket Show. Can you ask Sean? Who was Sean, do you think?
Sean.
Salisbury? Because he has Salisbury on, right?
Yeah.
So he's talking to Barrera. He says, can you ask Sean if he would agree that we need to get JJ out of the pocket and moving around in the bootleg style? He is an athletic kid, and I feel like against the Ravens, there were a few opportunities that he could have capitalized on with his legs and did not do so. We need to establish him as a running threat if we are not going to establish the running threat with a running back, and I think that would ultimately open up his ability to get the ball downfield and keep the defensive backs on their toes when he has the ball in his hand. And that's, on paper, that sounds good. That's all wonderful in a real world, but sometimes it's a bit more difficult than that, I think. Plus, the guy's kind of brittle. I mean, he missed his entire first season because of a knee injury. Then he missed 5 weeks because of an ankle injury. Now he's got a bruised hand where he's got a wrap on it. And he said, well, that's probably going to be like this all year long. So, I mean, yeah, you could get the guy running around, but every time he's, I tweeted this during one of the Vikings games. I don't recall.
I think you're actually probably less likely to take. A lot of these quarterback injuries are actually in the pocket, right? When they're just standing there and someone's going into their knee or something. So you get him out in the open. Doesn't mean he's running every time. Just you're actually. They probably should have done it when his offensive line was more beat up.
Right. I tweeted during one of the Vikings games something to the effect. I don't remember the exact tweet. It was like, does somebody else? And I don't remember how I said it, but do you actually cringe or close your eyes when he starts running around because he has been to this point injury prone. Now it could just be bad luck, right? That happens sometimes. Just you get hit wrong, and it really has nothing to do with being injury prone. You just get hit wrong. But he's in his short career, he missed an entire season with a knee injury. He missed 5 games because of a sprained ankle. And now he's not missed anything from the hand yet, but we'll see if that hampers him at all. So, yeah, I mean, it's always good to have for a quarterback to be able to run, but you do bring danger in that way too. I would just say provide a clean pocket for him. I'd get the offensive line that we spent all that money on. Remember, we went and now the center. Is it Ryan? What?
Ryan Kelly.
Is he back now? Because he was practicing, was he not?
He's back practicing. I don't know if he's playing.
But we don't think
his practice window has opened up.
Okay, his practice window's open up. So, as far as I know, this will be the second week though that we will have had 4/5 of our offensive line that we had expected to have at the beginning of the season, right? Darrisaw left tackle, O'Neal at right tackle, Jackson at left guard, and Fries at right guard. And then Brandell, if you'll remember, he was ushered in to the starting center position. Not by design, by circumstance. We had no center. They needed a center. He'd never played the position before. And by all accounts, at least from what I've heard from those that understand the game, especially the offensive line a little bit better than I do, that he's done a nice job. So
his first game was really good.
Yeah.
I think his second game was not good.
Right.
And I haven't really heard much since, so I think he's been okay.
So I think he's fine. So, and again, it's pretty, there are not many teams that have 5 really great guys on the line. Maybe Philadelphia does. Detroit did for a while, but they're kind of beat up now as well. But most teams, there's going to be, of your 5 starting linemen, the 2 guards, the 2 tackles in the center, there's always somebody that at least one of the guys leaves a little bit to be desired. But we'll see. The Bears, I tend to, a couple of people have chided me for, me, I tend to be, I like, pardon the pun, poking the bear, and not necessarily the bear, but the listener. And so I've been kind of extolling the virtues of the Bears. I haven't beaten anybody yet. Well, you're right. But you can only beat who's in front of you, and they're still winning. They're 6-3. Sorry. They're tied for first. You could look at all the teams in the league and say, who have they beaten? The Vikings have beaten. The only quality club that they've beaten, I would say, would be Detroit, right? But who else have they beaten? Bears. If you think the Bears are overrated, then you have to dismiss the Vikings game as getting by the skin of their teeth. If you think the Bears are overrated, then that Viking win over the Bears isn't that big of a deal. And then they lost to the Browns and the Bengals. And those are 2 teams that Burrow didn't play. Those are 2 pretty bad teams. And then you lost to the Ravens, who, there's no shame to that because they are playing a lot better now. And they've got their quarterback back. But, nonetheless, let's take a break. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, Affordable-Electric. Tennebee's got some Norse notes for us. We'll take a look at those on the other side of the break. Common Man program with Tennebee here on the Fan.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominated Outstanding Public School Teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Couple 13-14 past Common Man program. I'm Common. He's Tennebee. I haven't heard back from this text messenger yet. Here's what he says. Whomever said there has never been a rookie QB to make a Super Bowl is spreading fake news. How soon we forget Dan Marino. Some fans need to get off their high horse and get on Google. To which I responded to him, you might want to Google yourself as you're getting off your high horse. Marino was not a rookie. He was in his second year. I think he won Rookie of the Year in his rookie year, but he did not quarterback Miami to the Super Bowl in his rookie year. Sorry, it was his second year. Trust me, I'm a National Football League genius. So, yes, no quarterback has ever been a rookie and quarterbacked his team to the big game. It's never happened. So
that's kind of amazing that it hasn't.
Get up. Well, it is, but, there's only been 60 big games? And
that's a lot.
See, I would find it astonishing if a rookie did. You know how much rookies struggle in football.
I get it. But you would think it would happen once in 60 years.
I kind of think the opposite on that. But, we don't always agree. That's for sure. But, to me...
We just disagree.
Yeah, we just would have to disagree on that one.
Also, J.J. McCarthy's not a rookie.
Yeah, that's true, too. You have some Norse notes?
Do you want to do some Norse notes?
Yeah, why not?
I think I actually made an open for this a long time ago. We never actually did it.
Well, let's go ahead and do it.
Norse notes.
I have a bunch of Norse notes the Vikings sent me. I also have, those would be more on the positive side.
Can you play that open again? Because that's very, it's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very complicated. It's a complex open. Let's listen to it again.
Norse notes.
It So I have a bunch given me from the Vikings. You know, those of you on the positive side. So I'm going to give you the one negative one that I found on social media first. The Vikings have intercepted 3 passes on defense so far. That's the lowest in franchise history through 9 games of a regular season. But they're going to intercept Caleb Williams 3 times this weekend.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I shouldn't have done that.
I read it, but yeah.
They only have
the Vikings have intercepted 3 passes on defense so far. That's the lowest in franchise history through 9 games of a regular season.
Wow. Yeah, turnovers, big plays generally decide games. Yeah, that is a negative note. There's no question about that.
You ready for some positive?
Yes.
Norse Notes.
Minnesota and Chicago will face off for the 130th time in series history. The Vikings have won 8 of the last 9 games in the matchup, including, of course, that 27-24 win in Week 1 at Soldier Field, which ties the 3rd best record by a team versus a divisional opponent over the last 5 seasons. So that ties Kansas City against Las Vegas. Otherwise, nobody has done better against one opponent over the last 5 seasons.
Really? Huh.
Obviously, head coach Kevin O'Connell boasts a 6-1 record versus the Bears since beginning his tenure in 2022. It's the 3rd best mark among active head coaches against a divisional opponent in their careers, minimum 5 games. And then the final.
Norse Notes.
It's all Harrison Smith related because Harry the Hitman is set to play in his 200th career game this Sunday versus the Bears. He will become the 6th player in team history to reach 200 career games with the franchise. He will become just one of 2 players in NFL history to play at least 200 games for a single team and have 37 plus interceptions and 20 plus sacks. That's joining Hall of Fame safety Rondé Barber. He will become just one of 9 defensive backs in NFL history to play at least 200 games with a single team, and he is one of 4 safeties and is the only active defensive back.
And that's another episode of
Norse Notes.
We need to, you know how just before, during spread swing, we always played the little spread swing jingle? We need to do that for Norse, between every Norse Notes. Otherwise, it's so short. You know, should
I make the open longer as well?
Well, you could. Yeah, you could add a little something to it. I want to get your thoughts on this, Tenneby. This is Fish Wrap Factory West Side. Andrew Kramer writes Vikings for Fish Wrap West. This came out at 7:30 last night. Headline, Justin Jefferson says he needs to get back into savage mode. For Vikings. Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson said he needs to get, quote, back to my old self, specifically the year 2022 when he led the league with 128 catches, 1,809 yards, and a gravity-defying one-handed grab in Buffalo was dubbed the catch of the year. On the 3rd anniversary of the play, Jefferson posted a highlight of that 4th down catch to his Insta story on Thursday, writing, I need to get back to year 3 Jets. At his Thursday news conference, he said mentally just wanted to get back into that mode. I like to say savage mode, just going out there and just killing it and not worrying about the plays, not worrying about anything else I can't control, doing everything I can control and making the most of my opportunities. I felt like I was on a different level, just try to work back into that. As we know, Tenneby, there's not been much of a connection between McCarthy and Jefferson. It says here, the all-pro receivers averaging 76.2 yards per game this season. His career low, 87.5, came as a rookie. So he's below his career low. And that drops to a 52-yard average.
And he didn't even start the first couple games that
season. That's what I was about to get to.
Yeah.
And that season, I'm talking about this year, it says, and that drops to 52-yard average in the 4 games with McCarthy.
Yeah.
So when it was 76.2, that was when Wentz was throwing the ball. Jefferson's frustration showed in last week's loss to the Ravens when he caught 4 of 12 targets for 37 yards. He also dropped a possible 25-yard tutty on one of McCarthy's better throws of the afternoon. Coach Kevin O'Connell said he has, quote, no concerns, unquote, with Jefferson, a team captain, when asked about his reaction to the interceptions. If you remember on the one interception, he had downed him, but the other one he didn't. When the one where he got his legs tangled up, and he just kind of stood around and let other people take it. And again, not the end of the world. There were plenty of people there. Even if he had tackled them, it wouldn't have. So it resulted, instead of a 4-yard return on the pick, it would have been 1. Wasn't that big of a deal. But O'Connell said there was some frustration, and maybe with not having a couple of calls go his way from a referee standpoint. But that's all part of the game. He's so competitive, but I have no concerns with Justin. So then, some have thought, well, maybe some of this has to do with, because we've seen it. We know that the wide receiver position tend to be probably creates more divas than any other position, right? And we've seen it here in this town. It's happened here. It happens everywhere. But Jefferson has said his frustration is born out of losing. He wanted to clarify that. It's not, catching enough balls, tutties, blah, blah, blah. He says, I want to win. Emotionally, things get heated sometimes. Things weren't going our way in that moment. Just wanted a better outcome. Of course, the offense we have, I feel like we should be better than we are. Then here's what this one says. Why has he not felt the same on the field? Feeling like Jets, like he was back 3 years ago. He says, life, just different things going on in my life, and just wanting to get back to the kid phase of loving. I still love football, but overly loving football and overly loving just being out there on Sundays. Is that eyebrow raising at all, that he feels like, yeah, I love the game, but I don't overly love it like I used to love it, and I got to get back to that. And if you're not there, why is he not there? And do you think he was kind of just maybe covering for himself there a little bit? That maybe the frustration really is he's just not making the impact he once did. And it's, is it McCarthy? Is it the offense? Is it the competition they're playing? Remember, he's getting probably doubled most of the time, right? I mean, sure. I think teams have just decided until Addy beats us or Hawkinson beats us or Speedy beats us consistently, we're not going to let Justin Jefferson beat us. So the idea of not loving the game or over loving it, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's anything to be. The coach says there's nothing to be concerned about. And I don't expect the coach to say anything different, particularly publicly. I don't expect him in his roof to say, yeah, we're a bit concerned. Doesn't seem like his head's in the game, or seems like he's distracted, or life is getting in the way. Am I reading anything in? Am I reading too much into this? Maybe I don't even know if I am reading anything into it. I just wonder.
I mean, when he wasn't hustling after interceptions, right? When he was kind of giving up on the play, there were people I saw that were like surprised and said, because as you mentioned, a lot of wide receivers are divas. And up until this point, we have not seen a diva moment from Justin Jefferson. Right. And people were taken aback by that. And my comeback to that was he had nothing to be a diva about before. Like he has not had to handle adversity on the field at all. Like he's had constant success basically since he was put into the starting lineup. And he's been one of the best football receivers in football. He's always had lots of volume come his way. The yardage has been there. The tutties have been there. This is the first time now where the stats have dropped considerably. And so is it that he wasn't a diva before, or is it just maybe he's always a diva when he just doesn't have things go his way and we just hadn't seen it yet? But the lack of hustle on the interceptions is a concern. And even, I know you didn't read the comments, and I'm trying to paraphrase here. He kind of was asked about the interceptions and kind of went on this rant about people who don't know sports, and he was frustrated, and he didn't really, like, to me, you should come out and say, I made a mistake there. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have let down my team. And he kind of excused saying, I'm not going to be chasing down interceptions. I'm like, well, that's not the right thing. That's not what you should be saying right now.
Yeah, right.
So that part was more concerning. And then the love of football, I think it's pretty human nature, right? Like, you and I are not 100% like raring to go for every Common Man program. All right, like we both have stretches. Huh? Right? I mean, we both have stretches, whether that stretch is a couple days, couple weeks, couple months. I
think yours has been about
mine's been about 2 years. Yeah.
I'd say almost 20
I've
years.
had about a 2-year run here.
A 2-year run? Okay.
Where, you kind of, right, like...
Go through the motions.
Yeah, you're going through the motion. He's had so much success. and he got paid and he got the big contract. And I think he's hiding behind the team winning thing now. Like I'm only frustrated with the winning. I think it might be part of your frustration, but this team has lost with Justin Jefferson before, so it can't just be the winning portion of it. I do think his stats going down because he was a guy that through a couple of years was being asked, is this the greatest wide receiver of all time? Like he's on pace to be the greatest wide receiver of all time. And now it's the first realization that, I have to work for this. I have to keep going for this. I can't just rest on my laurels. So I think that's the moment he had this week. And now some of that still might be out of his control a little bit with the quarterback play.
I don't even know why I respond to these incorrect emails or text messages all the time. The one about, that, a rookie quarterback has never, Dan Marino did. How soon you forget? Get off your high horse. This one says, Jets touched the guy in the interception, went down. That's why he didn't chase him. On one of them, he did. The other one, he did not touch him and he did not chase him. That's what we're doing. There were two different interceptions. One of them, he did touch him, and he was the defender was ruled down by contact. The second time, he did not. That's what we're talking about. Tenneby just talked about how Jefferson addressed it when he was asked about it, and he tried to defend it by saying, "I'm not going to be chasing guys down." So that's what happened. So pay attention, watch the game, take notes like Mark Rosen does if it's that difficult for you.
And whether he likes it or not, when not only from a money standpoint, but he's considered like a leader on this team. So when the leadership on your team is letting down, having bad body language, not giving it 100%, that permeates through the entire team.
Several people are suggesting he's probably a little down in the mouth because his quarterback has not been very accurate. That could be it too.
Yeah, and he can't say that.
No, he can't. As a matter of fact, he's talked about how it's funny to see the quote from him. I don't know if it was in this story. Yeah, it was. He goes, Jefferson said he takes it upon himself to motivate and uplift McCarthy because of the negativity out there in the world. The negativity, the people that are criticizing McCarthy. People that are bringing up stats like he has the worst completion percentage of any quarterback in his first season in Viking history. Why are people bringing those things up? Stop being so negative. Here's what he says. This is Jefferson. Continue to have that confidence and don't really overthink, even though things are not going the greatest for us and we're still figuring out some things, because he's a great player. He's a great quarterback. He's a great kid. He calls him a kid. I just find that funny because Jefferson can't be more 24 years old. He's a great kid. At the end of the day, it's about relying on everybody to go out there and do their jobs.
By the way, the great kid's also a little demeaning.
Yeah.
It's also like yeah.
Yeah. For me, and I know he's not, obviously, he's not going to say, he calls him a great quarter. He's not a great quarterback. Not yet. He might end up being there, but he's not, But I don't expect him to not say that. So, but yeah, so I saw the story. I saw the quotes. I think it's just worth keeping an eye on anyway. I'm certainly not, I don't think it's not like a 5-alarm fire, but I do think it's when you're arguably the best player on your team. I mean, there are other guys, Gink's pretty good, Grenard's pretty good. But you would say, if you were picking your best player on this team, you would say Justin Jefferson. And when your best player on your team, well, he hasn't been this year. And that's not all due to him. But when your so-called best player on the team is a little down in the mouth, that can be concerning, especially when we've seen how that connection, I mean, there was a great connection between Cousins. Veteran quarterback, could spin it. Jefferson was brilliant with Cousins. Pretty good with Sammy Darnold, too, right? Again, a veteran quarterback, but really, certainly not a rookie, but playing in his first ever really good season. I mean, Darnold had not done in any way, shape, or form in his 3 years. Was it 3 years? Was that Darnold's fourth year last year? Fourth or fifth, whatever it was.
I think more than that.
Maybe
probably
6,
like 6
7.
years, yeah.
6, 7. That was the best he'd ever played. Right? I mean, he was brilliant. Quarterback whisperer got in his ear. And
he's more brilliant this year.
Yeah, and he's even more brilliant this year. But so
By the way, J.J. McCarthy, I'm seeing videos of him at practice from Kevin Seifert, still wearing the padding on his throwing hand today, but was doing his normal reps during the portion of practice open to the media. Seifert also says, I did not see linebacker Jonathan Grenard at the shoulder. Probably unlikely he will play Sunday. That'll be a tough hit.
Here's, say that again. Likely he will play?
No, likely he won't play.
What?
Grenard?
Oh, Grenard. I thought you said McCarthy.
No, I moved on to Grenard after McCarthy.
Yeah, okay, Grenard. Yeah,
McCarthy's taking his normal reps.
Right.
Jonathan Grenard with the shoulder injury, pretty unlikely he will play Sunday.
That would be a big hit. He's been as good as anybody on defense for the Vikings this year. This one says, comment. When asked about his body language, Jets had a comment about being an athlete and a competitor, yada, yada. We get it. But think about this. When Sauce hits the stage before you at a comedy show and all you hear is crickets, do you head for the exit? No. You hit the stage and do your bit regardless of what happens. That's a true competitor, and that is true. Speaking of that, we've got shows lined up. We're going to be at remember I said it was the American Legion? It's actually the Eagles Club in Rochester.
That sounds like a big difference.
Well, it is. There's a Tennessee. It's the Eagles Club. We'll be at the Eagles Club.
Go Eagles.
On January 31st. There's no place to get tickets yet. That's coming soon. There are no tickets on sale yet, but just mark that down if you're in the Rochester area. Set aside January 31st for Flop, Sweat, and Tears. Larry Mondello guy, myself.
I'd block out the whole month just in case that date changes. You can't miss that one.
And then it's February, is it 23rd? We're going to be in Cato. Give me the music. Give it to me. February 21st. So January 31st at Rochester at the Eagles Club. And then February 21st at the legendary Cato Ballroom. Those are the two shows that are in the books right now. So just keep those in mind. Let's do this. Let's take a break. And when we come back, Lil B, I believe, I did not see her here earlier, but she's given no indication that she will not join us at a regularly scheduled time. Feminine touch to the program.
She responded to program password on X, so she'll be here.
Very good. Lil B, feminine touch to the program. She joins us next here on The Fan.